So, Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I'm conveying my best wishes and greetings to every one of you. Hope that you are healthy and passing a great lives with your family members. And let us remember me in your prayer as well. We might be facing with so many conflict situations during the online courses, but let us do. It might be very helpful while we are physically being in a class to exchange our idea. Anyhow, it's a challenge and we have to adopt and ourselves to such challenges. چون درس غیر حضوری بسیار سوالات خلق میشه به محصلین، یک مشکلات ایجاد میشه، یک چالش هم به محصل هم به استاد است، طوری که او قسم به صنف و علم را به محصلین انتقال میتیم شاید از راه آنلاین نشوه. به هر حال کوشش میکنیم که یک چیزی که وقتتان ضایع نشده باشه ما کوشش کنیم علم تا خانه تان برسانیم. If you are facing with any problems, try to be in contact with me. I am in your service. So in continuation of the previous lecture, now we are going to discuss about another topic, that is types of educations. So lecture number 9 is just circling on types of educations. So let us, as we define that education is a gradual process of acquisition of knowledge, skills, values, ideas, and experience that is transformed from one generation to another to bring a positivity in the life of the peoples, in prosperity and development in the societies. So now, bringing such kind of positivity in the life of an individual in society, it needs to transform the educational standards to the generations. Now, how to send these standards to the next generation? It requires a source, a methods to transform this knowledge. For that reasons, so education is disseminated to the next generation through many sources or many ways. For that reasons, types of educations goes beyond what it took place within the four walls of the classroom. A child gets the education from his experience outside the school as well as from those within on the basis of these factors. So there are three main types of education, namely that is formal, informal and non-formal. It means knowledge, skills, ideas and concepts and values are transformed from one generation to other through these three methods. It is not only confined to the classrooms, it's not only limited to the universities and colleges, but it could be transformed by other means as well, which is not formal, that is non-formals. So let us, we will discuss about each and every ones. There are three main forms of educations. This slide is, sorry, once again it's written. Formal education. Let us start with the formal education, which is also called formal learnings. Second name it takes for. So usually it takes place in the premises of schools where a person may learn basic academics or trade skill. So small children often attend a nursery or kindergartens, but often formal education begins its elementary schools and continue with secondary school. So formal education is a place, is a system of education where the education and knowledge is imparting to the people through formal, from formal places like school, universities and colleges, technical boards and technical institutions, madrasa and some religious institutions. So these are all those who are imparting the quality of education to the people from a formal way. So formal education have a specific rules and regulations. They run according to the constitutions of a country and a constitution of a countries. Based upon that, they're implementing their policy to transmit the knowledge to others. So post-secondary education or higher education, which is coming after the school level, is usually at a college or university, which may grant an academic degree to the people. So it is associated with a specific or stage and is provided under a certain set of rules and regulations. We are become a doctor and engineer, we are being admitted in a school and universities. After completion of the schools, we are admitting to university for the professional degree to be granted to us, and we become a professional, a doctor, engineer and politicians. So the categories being just there in the society based on the wishes and interest of the people, which field they want to go ahead. So these universities then run in a society based on some rules and regulations. So the formal education is given by specified qualified teachers and instructors. They are supposed to be efficient in the art of instructions. Itself they should be qualified. When the qualified are not there in front of the unqualified, so how is it possible the positive change will come? So before the unqualified people, a qualified person should stand there to transmit the knowledge in a really great way that they better understand. So it also observes strict disciplines. So in formal institution there are strict disciplines. Anyone going against the disciplines of norms and rules and regulation of institutions, a formal institution, they will face a disciplinary actions, and disciplinary committee will put on them fines, or might be penalty will be given to them. So these rules and regulations are restricting and limiting the activity of institutions, that they should not go beyond the ethics of a society. So the students and the teacher both are aware of the facts and engage themselves in the process of educations. If you come to an example of formal educations, then we can say it's a learning in a classroom, because in a formal education you have to go to sit in class. School grading, certification, college and university degree, it's an example of a formal education. So a grading system and certification and degree is being granted based on the capability and capacity of a student and the ability that he is showing throughout the academic life. So this grading system is being applied and given to student the grade in highest grades or percentage. They have been rewarded during the time of educational lifetime. So based on rules and regulations, planned education of different subject having a proper syllabus, so it's acquired by attending the institutions. So this is the example of formal education. So they are imparting education to the peoples based on rules and regulations specifically. Now there might be some characteristics of formal educations. بعضی مشخصات دارد که یک ما وقتی که تعلیم را علم را می‌آموزیم در یک اداره رسمی به نام فارمال ایژوکیشنز از طریق حضوری ما می‌تونیم که مثلا صنف بریم بشینیم یک چیز را بیاموزیم. یعنی مشخصات یک formal education چیست؟ Formal education is structured hierarchically. It means that یک سلسله مراتب در ادارات رسمی هستند که از مکتب شروع میشه، از صنف اول همین تو بالا میره، هیرارکی پیش میره، سلسله مراتب میشه، پانتون کالج میره، پانتون میره، دکترا میکنه. So formal education are structured hierarchically. It is a planned and deliberates. So it formal educations are run through a pre-planned and they have a long and short and mid-term plans for their educational services. School, some of the educational institutions schedule some fees that should be paid regularly to the institutions, specifically that are the private institution. So it has a chronological grading system. It means that grading system is based on the rules and regulation of the formal education system. It has a syllabus and subject oriented. So the syllabus has to be covered within a specific period of time. So semester wise, annual systems, and this is what a midterm exam. So these should be divided. These syllabus it should be subject oriented, and the syllabus has to finish throughout the semesters. So the child is taught by the teacher in the formal educations. Instructors are theirs, qualified lecturers are theirs. So they are instructing this child to transform the knowledge in a right way. Now, what are the advantages of formal educations? It is an organized model, and up-to-date course contents are being taught. That is why it's a formal education. Updates, research-based knowledge is being transformed to the generations. Student gets knowledge from trained and professional teachers. This is another importance and advantage of formal educations. یعنی محصلین میتواند آموزش را بگیرد توسط استادای ورزیده و با کیفیت و مسلکی. there is a structure and systematic learning process take place. Systematic and structured learning process. That's why it's the advantage of formal education. So intermediate and final assessments are ensured to advance students to the next learning phase. That is the advantage of formal education. Institutional, managerially and physically organized. You can see there is a setup, there is a system. Top level, middle level and lower level managements are working and they are coordinating with each other to run these systems, as well as it leads to formally recognized certificates. Finally, once is graduating from finishing of the schooling systems or college systems or university, they will get a degree which has been recognized by the governments, both nationally and internationally as well. So these educational institutions where we are getting education, it helps us in order to find an easy way and easy access to find a job. So easy access to the job, this will provide, because we say that education is a gateway to a profession or a career. So these are all the advantage as well. They also have a disadvantage as well. So sometimes brilliant students are bored due to the long wait for the expiry of the academic session to promote to the next stage. Chance of bad habits adoption may be alarming due to the presence of both good and bad student in a classroom. So there is chances of bad student might be there, good student might be there, because this school environment is affecting the personality of a person. It affecting the socialization process of a person, because children are learning the things outside their family member that is being in school. So in school they are facing as well with good student, with bad students. So there is a chance of learning the bad things in a classroom. So that is the disadvantage of formal education, but it's not to the extent. So wasted of time, as some lazy student may fail to learn properly in spite of motivation by the professional trainers. So lazy students are not being properly motivated in order to achieve their targets by the professional trainers. So that could be a wastage of time for the lazy learners. Some unprofessional and non-student education system may cause the wastage of time in many of the students, which leads to the disappointment from formal education and argue them to go for non-formal educations and costly, and it's a rigid education as compared to other forms of learnings. So formal education is almost very costly and it's very rigid, and it's comparing to other forms of educations. Sometimes the students are facing with unprofessional papers where there is no standard in the education system. This will cause the wastage of time of a person, and many of our students will be wasted. And this will lead to the disappointment of peoples in society and students from their educational institution. Specifically, almost in Afghanistan, that all the private institutions are being established in order to provide their best quality of education to the nation. But some of the institutions are playing this role in a negative, playing their negative roles. They are selling their degrees, certificates, and transcripts, giving high marks to the students, though if they are not attending their semester-wise classes, they only come for the exam. So some of the educational this formal education is business oriented. Then this business oriented education institution would not be capable to provide a best knowledge, provide a best capable people to the society. So it also have a disadvantage as well. So the second thing that types of education which is called almost informal educations. So informal education may be a parent teachings a child that how to prepare a meal or ride a bicycles. So this is what we are talking about, the informal means of educations. We are learning from our parents, we are learning from the family members. So that is informal education, where there is no specific structures of a system of education that you have to go and pass from one grade to another grade. So but you are learning from family members. So parents are playing here a major roles in educating of their child. So informal education is when you are not studying at school and you do not use any particular learning methods. So mainly the education is imparted by the family members. In this type of educations, conscious efforts are not involved. It is neither pre-planned and not deliberate. So it may be learned at some marketplace, you can learn at home, you can learn at a hotel, in some other place, because it's informal. There is no systematic, pre-planned, systematic pre-planned structure that you would be transferring the forms of educations. So unlike formal education, informal education is not imparted by any institution such as school or college. Informal education is not given in according to any fixed timetables. There is no curriculum required because informal education consists of only experience, and these experiences are actually shared in a family member where the child is living in that family or community. So that is informal education. There is no specific rules and regulations. Degree and certificates are not awarded, but only the child is just experiencing and learning this culture value, religious value, social value for what's happening around the area. It could be imparted by any means to any place. An example of the informal education, that is teaching the child some basics such as numeric characters at home, some learning his or her mother tongue, and a spontaneous type of learning. If a person standing in a bank learns about opening and maintaining the account at the bank from someone, he is learning there, but he is not learning that at school. Let's suppose an educated person can also open the account in a bank, but he is learning there. Someone might teach them that this is your bank accounts, but he doesn't need to go to school to formally be educated there. So it's informal. They learn from the society. The student comes out of the family members. They engage with social activity in social network, becomes social vital in the society. So he is facing with a lot of things outside of the school, learning a lot of things. So that is informal educations. Now, what are the characteristics of informal educations? It is independent of boundary walls. It means that there is no dependency. There is no boundaries. There is no limitation. I mean that you can get this education from any source, from any way, from in any place. There is no boundary that you have to go to school, university, or madrasa, or educational institutions where there is a specific boundaries. So it has no definite syllabus. You are not following, then you are not following any specific syllabus, so no implementation of any specific syllabus word. So whatever comes in your surrounding area, you are learning that. So it's not a pre-planned. It has no timetables. No fees is required, as we get informal educating through daily experience and by learning the new things from the society. It's a long life process in a natural way. It starts when the person is born. It ends when the person dies. The certificate and degrees are not awarded. They are not involved, and one has no stress for learning the new things. And you can get from any source such as media, life experience, friends and family. These are the characteristics of informal education. Now, let us talk about that. What are the advantages of this educations? More naturally, learning process, as you can learn at anywhere and at any time from your daily experience. It involves activities like individual in-person research on topic of interest for themselves by utilizing the books and libraries, social medias, internet, or getting assistance from informal trainers. فایده تعلیمی غیر رسمی که ما شما آموزش میگیریم از جامعه، از فامیل، از رفقا، در بیرون از مکاتب که محدود به یک دیوال، 4 دیوالی نباشه که ما مثلا مکتب بریم، پانتون بریم، یک چیز را بیاموزیم، ولی میتونیم در هر جای، در هر محلی که در هر جای، در هر وقتی که باشه میتونیم یک چیزی نو بیاموزیم. اینا اینفورمال میگیم، خاطر که ما پول نمیدیم، تایم تیبل نیست، سلیبس نیست، فقط چیزی که از تجربات دیگران و از تجربات خود ما اینا میاموزیم. So it utilizes a variety of techniques. می‌دانیم این تعلیم ما این آموزش را از طریق مختلف ما اینا بیاموزیم. Utilize a variety of techniques. There is no specific time span, as well as ضرورت به این نیست که مثلا یک محدود زمانی وقت داشته باشد که شما اینقدر تعلیم تا اینقدر وقت باید شما مثلا بیاموزیم. نه، می‌دانین informal education از روزی که انسان پیدا میشه که میموره یک چیز را میاموزه. Less costly in time efficient learning process. مصرف هم سرش نمیاد. It's less costly. No need to hire expert, as most of the professionals may be willing to share their precious knowledge with students, public, through social media and the internet. ضرورت به این نیست که شما به یک ماهر ضرورت داشته باشیم که نظرات خود شما امرای ارائه بکنه، نظرات خود را امرای شما شریک بسازه و وقتی علم قیمتی خود به شما برسانه. ضرورت به این نیست که professional people are not, because you can get it from any source. Learners can be picked up the requisite information from books, TV, radio, or conversation with their friends and family members. می تواند آموزندگان که هستند از طریق مختلف معلومات را بگیرن، مثلا از کتاب، از تلویزیون، از رادیو، از بحث گفتگو امرای رفیقای خود، فامیل، اعضای فامیل میدن از این طرف شما این تعلیم را بیاموزیم. این فایده ایش است. ولی دیس ادوانتیج یا نقصانات هم داره که نقصانات تعلیم آموزش غیر رسمی information acquired from the internet, social media, TV, radio or conversation with family members may lead to the disinformation. شاید این باعثی سوی معلومات شود، معلومات نادرست باشد، معلومات از طریق این گرفتن. و این هستند که utilize techniques may not be appropriate, many techniques may not be appropriate. شاید بعضی اوقات بعضی طریقه ما که علم را آموزش میکنیم در اینجا شاید بعضی طریقه ما نتوانیم از او به شکل درست استفاده بکنیم. So no proper schedule is there, time span is there, so unpredictable result which may imply the waste of the time, as well as lack of confidence in the learner will comes, because if you're learning in school, so you are facing with great things in there, as well as absence of disciplines in their attitudes and good habits. نمیتونیم ما discipline را بیاموزیم، در attitude در سلوک رفتار ما تغییر بیاید با آسانی. این امور disadvantage of informal education هستند. ما سیوم نوع تعلیم کردن او بلامی non-formal هستند. یعنی non-formal چرا میگه؟ So non-formal education includes basic education, adult literacy education or school equivalency preparations. In non-formal education, someone who is not in school can learn literacy or other basic skill or job skills. یعنی ضرور نیست که مکتب بیاموزین، میتونین در جاهای دیگر مثلا سواد آموزی شما این را به دست بیارین. Home education, individualized instruction, for example, such as program learning, distance learning, and computer assisted instruction or other possibilities. Non-formal education is imparted consciously and deliberately and systematically implemented. It should be organized for a homogeneous group. Non-formal education should be programmed to serve the needs of the identified group. This will necessitate flexibility in the design of the curriculums and the scheme of the evaluation. Like today, it's non-formal educations that we're imparting to students online. It's a systematized there. A specific group of people are being targeted there. An organized system is there. A program is there. So it is systematically implemented. Giving an online lecture, it could be the example of non-formal education. So example of non-formal education, like for example Boy Scouts and Girl Guides develop some sport programs such as swimming comes under non-formal educations. Fitness program, community-based adult education courses, free courses for adult education developed by some organizations, that is non-formal education, but it is systematized. But people are here not studying the things in school, but they are getting technical skills by other free courses that is being provided to adult educational developed by some organizations. So there are some characteristics of non-formal education. So non-formal education is planned and take place apart from the schooling systems, and the timetable and syllabus can be adjustable. Unlike theoretical formal education, it is practical in vocational education. Non-formal is not only theoretical, but it is practical in vocational education. Non-formal education has no age limit. You can learn it at any age. Fees or certificate may or may not be necessary in non-formal educations. It may be full-time or part-time learning. One can learn and even learn together, and it involves a learning of professional skills. Mostly we are learning professional skills in non-formal education. So what is the disadvantage? Foundation chess. It is practice and vocational training. Naturally growing minds do not wait for the system to amend. Literacy with skillfulness, growth in which learning is appreciated. Flexibility in age, curriculum in time. Open-minded educational system in which both the public and private sector are involved in the process. No need to conduct regular exam. Diploma, certificate and awards are not essential to be awarded in this non-formal educations. While it also have some disadvantage as well, attendance of participant is unsteady. It means they may not be very much careful for the attendance. Sometimes it's just wasted of time as there is no need to conduct the exam on regular basis and no degree diploma is awarded at end of the training session. Sometimes it happens like. Basic reading and writing skills are crucial to learners, but it may not take place in non-formal educations. No professional and trained teachers being required in non-formal education because it's non-formal. Student may not enjoy full confidence that the regular students enjoy. Student will not be able to build up their confidence as the regular students are enjoying in school, in college, and universities. Some institutes provide fake certification through online courses just for the sake of earning through non-formal education. Many of the institutions around the world are working in providing an online courses that might be the fake certifications, fake degree will be provided, but for the sake of earning they just utilize this. So we are talking about the education, transforming of knowledge and skills and idea and values and training to the other people by any means, whether that is formal, informal or non-formal, but we want to educate the people, educate the nations, and this educated nations then becomes a guarantee of a success and development of societies. So this was about today, types of educations. Hope you have got something from the lectures. Wish you all the best. Till then, see you with the next lecture next time. Allah Hafiz. Take care and remember me in your prayers.